sales, like direct sales. I didn't know it was called direct sales at the time, but people who sold stuff from home, like Mary Kay or Pampered Chef or Party Light, but none of those appealed to me at all. So
yeah, I don't see you a candle girl.
Oh my gosh. Well, like, I don't wear makeup, obviously. I don't like do my hair. I don't cook. There's like nothing, and I wouldn't be able to, I don't know. It just seemed, it seemed like it didn't fit me.
Yeah.
So all I did was go online and I started just looking up like sales things, direct sales, work from home. And I actually saw this thing called passion parties. And if you know it, for people who don't know me very well, they think that's fine because I'll do whatever.
Yeah.
But for people who knew me, they were shocked because I had never in my life ever talked about sex ever. And I had been married 9 years at the time.
Tell people who aren't familiar, tell us what Passion Parties is.
Passion Parties is a in-home party plan company where we come into your home and teach you how to enhance your relationship with our products, which are sensual adult products, like sexy massage candle. Right. And then we have games and toys. So it's you're talking about sex the whole time. So, and I had never talked about sex ever. So my husband's like, what? You're doing what? You don't even like sex, right? So bad. But here's why I did it. Because I was like, oh, people don't want to go to the store to buy that.
Yeah.
So they're going to buy it from me. So I started doing that. And actually, I just celebrated my 10-year anniversary with Passion Parties 3 days ago.
That's awesome.
So I've been doing that 10 years. After about 5 years, I wanted something else. And I missed the fitness industry because I had been in it at the time when I quit for 17 years.
Wow.
So I started missing it. And for people who know me, I'm obsessed with health and nutrition and fitness. And I'm an athlete and a vegan. And it's just who I am as a human being. Whereas like Passion Parties isn't who I was. I love it. I love the company. I love the business. I'm going to be doing it forever. But I was looking for something, more in health and fitness again. But I love direct sales and I love network marketing. So I started looking at those types of companies and ended up joining a company called Beachbody, who, if you're not familiar with it, they put out workouts like P90X, Insanity, those workouts. So
love me some Insanity. Woo-hoo.
I know.
That's my favorite. It knocks me on my ass every time, but I love it.
Oh, good. Then you're doing it right.
Yay.
So I've been doing that for almost 5 years. And what I started a year and a half ago was a blog, which I was super wanting to do this forever, but didn't have the courage because I didn't think anyone would care what I talked about. And I was afraid that if I voiced an opinion, this is hilarious for you guys listening who are afraid to like write. If you can relate with this, get over it because it's such a lie. I was afraid that if I told my opinion, somebody would make me like prove it. Is that like, it's silly, but it was such a fear. I was like, people are going to say, oh, well, where did you get that idea or what?
Right.
Prove it. So anyway, that's not true.
You're like, I can't prove it. It's my opinion.
I know.
There's nothing to prove.
It's just it's just confidence.
Yeah.
Like all of this is. So right now, those are my 3 businesses. I'm a writer. I'm a passion party consultant. I'm a Beachbody coach. But Desiree and I always talk about getting shit done, the name of her Blab, and productivity. What's actually more time consuming than all 3 of my businesses put together is my hobby. And I'm a long distance endurance triathlete. My race of choice is an Ironman distance triathlon. And I train 20 to 30 hours a week, depending on the time of year.
That's crazy.
So
that's a full-time job.
Yes, it totally is. So
I
work on my businesses 30 hours a week and I train 30 hours a week.
So seriously, that's a lot of work. So how do you juggle it? How do you make sure that you give the right business the right amount of time and still be able to do the training that you love?
A couple things. I think it's really important to make goals. I know that's super boring for people. But if you don't know what you want, you're not going to get it.
Yeah.
That's just a fact. So I think setting goals in the different things you want to do helps decide where you're going to put your time and energy. Because if you're always, let's say you're always working your job 9 to 5, and after work, you do some extra stuff for your boss, and then you're driving an hour each way to work and this and that. And that job isn't even what you want in your life. You're putting your time into the wrong thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I totally agree. Let's talk about goals for a minute, since you brought it up and since you are my accountability buddy.
Yeah, I love goals.
So with an accountability buddy, and for anybody who doesn't have one in their business, the first thing I'm going to tell you to do right now is go find one. And I highly recommend finding somebody outside of your direct industry. Don't find somebody that is in the exact same spot you are with the exact same ideas. It sounds like that might be the ideal situation, but really you want to find somebody whose goals are just different enough that the two of you can keep each other excited without that mundane talk about bringing each other down. Because I see this happen a lot, especially in the direct sales industry. People want to team up with leaders at their same level. Well, what happens is you're both here and you're both trying to get to the next level. But if somebody has a bad day, it's really easy for this person to say, oh, you're right, so let's not do it. So try and find somebody either in a different business, completely different business model. That way, when you guys talk about each other's goals, you can give feedback without feeling like either you're in competition or without, like I said, dragging each other down. So that's why I think you and I work really well as accountability buddies. I'm very familiar with the direct sales industry. I work with hundreds of direct sellers, in my life and in my coaching business. So it seemed natural with you making the shift also to having your own blog and you're talking more and more about lifestyle choices and that kind of thing with your audience, that we came together and we can still have similar enough businesses, but they're different enough that we can keep each other accountable without any of that comparison mode. Don't you think that's right?
Yeah. And then the other thing I would add is I would find someone with different strengths and weaknesses than you. Because what I find is, so I have accountability partners in all areas of my life. Like I have workout accountability partners, and I have in both my businesses. And I'm really good at setting goals, breaking them down, doing daily activities to move me toward what I want in my life, and helping others do the same.
Right.
What I'm not good at is cheering people on. I'm not empathetic. I'm not good at hand holding. And to be honest, I'm not a people person, because all those things I just said I'm not good at, people are really good at them.
Yeah, that's what people want.
And so I want to be paired with somebody. So like my Passion Parties accountability partner, we've been partners for 8 years.
Yeah.
And we have been talking on the phone every week for 8 years. And she's way more of a people person than I am. Her favorite part of her business is just talking to her team. Not a coaching call like I do, where I'm like, what are your goals? What did you get done? What do you need help with? She is like, hey, how is Jimmy's soccer game?
Right.
And I'm like, what? So
who cares? We got shit to get done.
Who the hell? You have kids? I didn't even know. I'm so bad like that. But that's why I have those partners to help me, because I know they're my weaknesses.
Yeah.
And so she helps me, like you help me with the things that I can't help myself with.
Right.
And that just makes sense for a partner to, so you guys complement each other in that way.
Yeah, I totally agree. So when you're working with an accountability buddy, since you have multiple buddies that you work with for different facets of your life, how do you make sure you stay out of that habit of where if someone's having a bad day, you're talking to your accountability buddy, or, vice versa, how do you make sure the other person doesn't bring you down? How do you make sure that your accountability calls don't turn into complaint sessions?
That is a great question, because I've tried to hook up my team members with other accountability people, and they come back to me and they're like, oh, I can't do it. This person is bringing me down, or this person is drama. I think you just have to be clear in what you want, just like everything else in life. So you set it up from the beginning. When Desiree and I first started talking, we kind of did a call just to decide if this was going to work. So
it was like a first date.
Here's what you want. Is this going to work? And then when we decided yes, we're like, okay, here's what it's going to look like.
Yeah.
And of course, as you get to know each other, my Passion Party success partner, I didn't even know her when we started. She was brave. And we met once at a conference. She was brave and just out of nowhere called me and said, I'm looking for an accountability partner. You seem like somebody I want to be in my life. Yeah. And so now that we know each other, it's challenging not to talk about personal stuff, but we set up at the very beginning, this is a business call. And if we want to talk, if we want to like tell each other our stuff going on, we do that maybe Wednesday at noon instead of Monday when we do our success call. So we'll say like, how was your week? And it'll be like, if something happened, she might be like, oh, well, the kids, blah, 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 or my husband, this, or this. And then if I had something crazy going on, I just this. And we get that out of the way in like 1 minute.
Yeah.
And
yeah. I think that's usually what you and I do too.
Yes, it's exactly. Because we were friends before we were accountability partners.
Oh yeah. So, I've known you for many years.
Yeah. We could easily talk about our lives.
Oh yeah.
For the whole hour, but we both know, because we set it up in the beginning, that this is our accountability call. And if we want to, if we're like, oh, let's talk Friday at noon.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and we also, our calls are also very structured. Yeah. So, we have the minute or two of, okay, here's why my life has been so crazy. What's going awesome in yours? And we check in with each other, and then it's like, okay, well, here's the 3 things that I was supposed to work on last week. Here's what I still have to do. Here are my 3 goals for this week. Here's my overall goal for the month. Here's where I'm getting closer to it. Great. Awesome. Here's my advice. Here's your advice. Let's go. High five, get shit done. Right. Yeah.
Well, and I think it helps, like, we're both, even though we're super different, just people in general, we're both really driven.
Yeah.
And one thing that's great, this happens with us, and this happens with like other people, I'm not motivated every day.
Right.
Like, and people always think I am, because I like to get stuff done. I love checking off my list. I'm very productivity driven, but I wake up the same way as everyone else, in a super warm, cushy bed with my dog snuggling with me. And I want to stay there. And so it always works out for some reason with my accountability people, in that the days that I feel a little down, they feel a little up. And the days I feel a little up, they feel a little down. And by the end of the call, even if I went into the call saying, you know what, I'm even giving myself permission to take the day off, because my life sucks today. And even when that happens, when I get off the phone with my accountability partner, I want to do something. I'm fired up. I might not go out and, pick up the phone and make a phone call. Let's not get crazy. But I'm going to do something, because we balance each other out. And I think that's huge. Would you say the same thing?
Yeah, absolutely. Just a couple of weeks ago, anybody who is part of my life knows I had a really rough couple of weeks. I had the loss of a very close friend. And I even think on our day, it was less than 24 hours after I had found out on our accountability call. I actually, even for a minute, I actually thought, I'm so letting her down. And then I sent you a text message. I'm like, I just can't do it today. But you continued to check in with me. You're like, okay, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready to get, it was kind of like, I'm here. Let's chat. Let's get, And so when we finally did get on the phone the next week, I was like, why? I should have got on the phone with you last week, because it helps me stay focused. It helps me get back on track. And it gives me the whole thing of, oh my God, if I show up to the call and I don't have shit done, she's going to be like, yeah, you're being fired as an accountability buddy. You suck, So it's kind of like, it's of course the accountability, but it's knowing that someone else out there, and even though you say you're not a cheerleader, somebody else out there is cheering me on, saying, you know what, Desiree, those are great ideas. You need to go do them. I can't wait to hear how well it went. And then I'm like, awesome. I have somebody to talk to that is not my husband or my daughter, and they still have a vested interest in my business. And I think that makes a huge difference in helping you stay motivated.
Right.
Entrepreneurship it's lonely, especially when you work from home, no matter what industry you're in. I even hear this from party plan people who have huge teams. They get up in the morning and they don't go to the office. They're not, talking with people at the water cooler. We still have the same, struggles when you're working from home. And so having that accountability buddy keeps you connected to the outside world and keeps you moving and helps you stay focused.
Well, and it's hard being an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
It's funny. I actually just did this interview. For people who don't know me, I spent the last couple years living in an RV. And I did an interview with this guy for his podcast. Him and his wife want to sell everything they own and move into an RV. So he interviewed me about that. And he was asking me, what's reality versus what people think? Yeah. And I always compare it to owning your own business and being an entrepreneur, because when I told people I lived in an RV, almost everyone would be like, oh, that's our dream.
Yeah.
Just like when we say, oh, I work from home. Oh, that's my dream.
Yeah. Oh, the one I love is, you're so lucky.
You're so lucky.
I didn't wake up one day and somebody said, here's a business. I woke up one day and said, screw working for somebody else. I just walked out on my job and right. I better make something happen.
Right. So Des,
it wasn't luck.
People say to me, you're so lucky you don't have kids. And I'm like, that wasn't luck.
Yeah, we planned that. It wasn't an accident.
Didn't get pregnant on purpose.
Right. Hey, Heather is asking, what's your ebook for when you did the RV? Tell us about the book you wrote for your RVing.
Like how to order it, or what's it about?
Yeah. Well, tell us the name of it and where people can find it.
So it's called Living in an RV: How You Can Make It a Reality, and it's all about it's a combination of technical, kind of logistical ways, what works, what didn't work, how you can, information for you. So it's half information and then half stories about us and kind of why we did it, our struggles, the good, the bad, the ugly. It's kind of all encompassing. Everyone who's read it so far that has told me about it has said a couple things. One, they say, if you were on the fence about whether this is for you or not, after reading it, you're going to know, which I think is huge, because wouldn't you want to know if this is the right thing for you before investing all this into it?
Yeah.
And then the other people say that who know me, who've read it, said, even if you never want to live in an RV in your life, it's an awesome book because it's so me.
Nice.
Like they love it.
That brings me a question about your business, because you have two. Do you do Beachbody parties, or is that just kind of something that you mainly read online?
I do Beachbody 99% online, 1% on the phone.
Okay, well, but Passion Parties is live parties. You go into people's house.
Yes.
You did something that I thought was so clever when you guys decided to pack up an RV. Tell everybody what you did with your party plan business while you were on the road.
Well, which clever part? I don't want to say the wrong clever part.
No, I thought it was so smart of you, of how when you mapped out where you guys were going, you booked parties almost like in every city. You found people, you figured out that you had friends everywhere, and you got on your map. You said, "Hey, I'm going to be in your area." It was almost like a concert tour. Hey, it's Kirsten. I'm going to be live in your area in 3 weeks.
It was totally a party. It It was completely a concert tour. And if I would have thought of that, I would have made a t-shirt.
Yes, next time.
So what I did was, because we knew a few months in advance we were going to do this.
Yeah.
So one thing I did was all my parties I did in January and February, because we left in March that year. Oh, come here. My dog's wants to come up. He's crying. All my parties I did in January and February, I told every single person at the party that I was going out of town for a few years. I was going to be traveling. And so what I did was I asked them, do you know anyone in any other state who may at some point want to have a party? So whether it's friends, family, places they used to live, places they went to college, they didn't have to tell me a specific person at that point. But what I did is I made a spreadsheet and I put their name. So I put Desiree, and then I put all the states that they might know people. So Arizona, Georgia, Nebraska, and Florida. And then I put their phone number. So when I knew I was going to be in Florida, I would pull out my spreadsheet. And I love spreadsheets because I could order them in alphabetical order. So I know everyone who has someone in Florida. And then I would call them and say, hey, I'm going to be in Florida from April 12th to April 20th. Who did you know that might want to have a party? And can I get their information?
Nice.
So that's one thing I did. The other thing I did was basically Facebook, social media, and just said, hey, looking for ladies in this city, this state. And if you guys, Facebook's amazing because, kind of scary. You can find out where people went to school, where people lived. And so let's say I was going to be in Las Vegas, Nevada. I can put in Las Vegas, Nevada, and click on that. And it'll say all your friends who live there, all your friends who have visited there. And you could see, let's say somebody doesn't live there now, but it visited, and you click on them. It said they went to college there. I can send them a message and say, hey, I see you went to college in Las Vegas. Do you have any friends still there who may want to have a passion party?
I love it. Yeah. I love it. That's awesome. And that's productivity at its finest right there. Look at that.
It's well, what it is I know what I want. This is why you have to have a goal and you have to know what you want. Because since I know what I want, I'm going to get creative and work out how to make it work.
Yeah. And it's that's got to be the crucial part. And so two things happen when I start working with my new clients. First, we get really clear on who do you want to be working with? And then the second thing is, what do you want out of your business? And so many times they come to me and they're like, oh, I just want to make enough money to pay the bills. Give me an amount. How much is that? Are your bills $800 a month, or are they $8,000 a month? And then, or they tell me, they're like, oh, well, I just really want to work 10 hours a week. And I'll be, okay, well, what are you doing? Well, I just want to sell my stuff. Okay, well, that's not a goal. Working 10 hours a week is great, but how are you making money? What's your goal? Do you want to make enough money in the next 10 years you retire? Do you want, so the goal setting is so important because like you said, you have to know what you're working towards, right? Or you're just kind of flitting around in the business world, hoping something works. But the problem is you don't have anything to compare it to because you don't have a goal set. So You don't know if anything's working or not.
Right. And most people I have found, because I have been I've owned my own business, because when I was a personal trainer, I basically owned my business. So I pretty much just owned my businesses my whole life. But in working, now that I work with other people who own their own business on my team in direct sales and network marketing, a lot of times people think they're working and they're not. And that's another great reason to have an accountability partner, because, if Des told me, okay, this week I, cooked and cleaned, and actually 1 week you did clean the whole week.
I did.
So sometimes you need someone else to point out to you that what you were doing did not move your business forward.
Yeah, because it's not making you any money.
Yeah. Des knew it wasn't moving your business forward, but a lot of people don't. They think, especially so you're a stay-at-home mom and you take out a load of laundry and then you check an email and then you make lunch and then you return another email, and then you make 2 phone calls, and then all of a sudden 6 hours went by, and people seriously think they worked 6 hours.
Oh yeah.
And so when they make $20 that week, they're like, oh, this isn't worth it. I made $20 in 6 hours. But if they counted the time they were actually productive, which was 6 minutes.
Exactly.
$20 in 6 minutes. That's a lot of money.
Yeah. That's a nice return on investment.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really true. And I do hear that a lot with my mompreneurs. Heather just said a lot of people don't know how to be productive. They're confused. You can be productive and have a sparkling clean house. That's great productivity. Yeah. If your goal in life is to have a clean house, but that's not going to make you any money in your business unless you're a housekeeper. Right. So you have to figure out how to be productive and do the things that are making you money, and then there's the whole balance thing. You can be productive with your housekeeping and you can be productive with your business. But like you said, working 6 hours, and only checking email once or twice and making a phone call, that's not working on your business. That's just being productive. Right. So there's a difference. You have to figure out, do you want a productive day? Just, oh, yay, I got 2 loads of laundry and some emails done. I feel very productive, which is great. Or do you want a productive day in your business making you money?
Well, one thing that I super focus, I would say I'm a super productive person. So I'm just going to brag a minute. People ask me all the time, how do you do all you do? How do you get so much done in a day? And I will tell you right now that when you set your priorities and stick with what you truly make as your priority, you can get so much more done. It makes decision-making easy. It makes your to-do list easy. It makes your whole life easier when you know what your priorities are. So for example, like my priority, I'm not wearing any makeup. My hair is wet. I got out of the shower like 10 minutes before this because I'm like, oh, I should probably shower. I worked out this morning. So my face is all red from working out. If my priority, and I'm not bagging on people whose looks are their priority because I think that's awesome. If my priority was the way I looked right now to you guys, I wouldn't have gotten a 2-hour workout this morning. I would have gotten in a 1-hour workout and a 1 hour to look good. But my priority is my training. Yeah. And not that my priority isn't you and you guys. I love being here. I was super excited to show up, but my priority isn't the way I look to you guys. Yeah. If you don't think I'm pretty, that's okay. Because that's not a priority to me. So I love that. I think once you figure out what your true priorities are and you start living by them, oh my gosh, you can get so much done.
Yeah, that's golden. Like I just want to reach to the computer and kiss you. All right. Yay. Mwah. Well, we are just a little bit over 30 minutes and I want to make sure that people learn where they can find you. So give everybody your website and then I'll type it in the show notes here too.
Okay. My website is food. You have to type in the show notes because my husband can't even remember it because he said it's too many. It's 4 things, but he never remembers the order. It's food, fitness, finance, fun.com. And that's my personal blog. I have my heart and soul poured out on those pages, but also awesome information and tips to help you in all areas of your life. So find me there because that's my passion. That's where I want to be.
Yay. Yay. I just love you so much. I just have one more question before we wrap up here because we're all about being productive and we got to go get shit done, right?
Yeah.
Just one more. One of my favorite questions is, what's your favorite swear word or catchphrase that you use all the time?
Catchphrase, definitely rock star, rock on, rock everything. Oh. I'm always like, you rock, I rock, we all rock. So it's all rock. And I don't swear very much. Not that my husband's from New York. Like we're a swearing family. It's just not something I do a lot, but I say damn a lot, but I don't feel like that's a swear word. Like I'm like, oh, that's so damn awesome. But what I forget that some people think it's a swear word. So when I say it around kids and stuff, they're like, so
nice.
I damn like that word.
Yay. Damn is a great word. We use a lot here in my house too. All right. Thank you, my dear. I'm looking and it doesn't look like we have any questions. Thank you, everybody who joined us. I like to keep the blab about 30 minutes because we all have stuff to go get done. This is the Get Shit Done show with Desiree Wolfe, and we've had our special guest, Kirsten McCay-Smith, who is a damn good rock star in my life. For more information about me, please head over to DesireeWolfe.com. And I look forward to seeing you guys hopefully every Thursday here at 10:30 a.m. Pacific time on the Get Shit Done show. All right. Thanks, everybody. Talk to you soon.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.